Hey everybody, welcome back to World of Tanks. Not exactly. This is Hachiman. Today is July 4th, America's Independence Day, and I spent this day driving to Danville, Virginia, which is about 3 hours from where I live in the city of Richmond, to the AAF Tank Museum. That's American Armoured Foundation. They had a big event for July 4th, what they called Family Fun Day. It's not quite Tank Fest in Bovington, but it's pretty cool. And it was a lot of fun. The AAF, which their website is aaftankmuseum.com, and I'll put that in the description below, is, at least according to them, the world's largest collection of militaria in the world. You can see here on their collection highlights 120 tanks and artillery pieces, 150 machine guns, mortars, flamethrowers, recoilless rifles, etc. 65 small arms, 340 international tank and cavalry generals' uniforms, and it goes on and on. 2,200 hats and helmets, all sorts of stuff. They've got a wonderful exhibit of everyone from their county that served, at least anyone who has been submitted to have served. They've got a wall of American armor. It's just pictures of American armor, mostly from World War II and a little before and a little after. They've got it's just very cool. And what I did was I took a bunch of pictures. I don't have live video, and I'm sorry about that, but I did take a bunch of pictures, and I'm going to go through them with you, starting with the first machine that you see when you walk in. Well, there it is, Panzer IV. Pretty obvious what that machine is. There's very little question. 7.5 centimeter gun. It's the first machine you see when you walk in, and it was. It's a treat to see this machine for me. I'm not sure where they got this machine from, whether they actually got it from surplus Germany left over after the war, or perhaps if it was rescued from Syria or Egypt, because obviously a lot of those were sold to those two nations after the war. Alright, close that and move on to the next one. This is something a little different. This is an M60 Patton tank, medium tank or main battle tank, whatever you want to call it. But I probably could have gotten you a better picture of this, but this turret right here and this gun was a special configuration. This does not mount any of the normal weapons of an M60 medium tank. This is the 152 millimeter gun launcher. Okay, that we know from the American T-49 Light in the game. This weapon was capable of firing 152 millimeter conventional high explosive shells or anti-tank missiles, just like the M551 Sheridan. But again, on a medium M60 Patton. This is another M60 Patton. This one's got much more conventional weapon, 105 millimeter. Typically would fire some form of armor-piercing ammo, that type of thing. And you see here, a lot of these were equipped with large spotlights, infrared spotlights, that type of thing, right on the gun to help with sighting. To aid the optics, obviously. See the marker lights on the front of the machine. And most of these machines these guys have are operational. Now, I didn't take pictures of a lot of machines, because there was a lot of APCs and stuff like that, and we skipped those. Well, you know what that is. I mean, come on, guys. It's a Soviet T-34, and this is the 85 millimeter. This machine, I do believe, is not in anything resembling working order, and so they've piled it full of debris as if it's crashed through a building or something along those lines. Very cool. Oh, here's the side view I gave you. I just got a good close-in picture of the suspension. You can see the road wheels with the rubber around them, and of course the fuel tanks that the Soviet tanks were so well known for. This is a good one right here. This is a very good one right here, and you guys might recognize it better from the side, perhaps, which I have right there. This is the M53, or what we know in the game as the M53-55, the turreted Tier 9 American artillery. This is a real treat because there are only 17 of these were made, not 70, not 1,700, 17, 1-7. And the AAF Tank Museum in Danville, Virginia's got one. Was a very, very impressive machine to see in person. They have a lot of patents. This is an M48 patent with the 105mm gun. Looks just like you expect in World of Tanks. The rounded turret instead of the clamshell with the machine gun port turret up top. Yeah, neat looking machine. If you don't recognize this turret, then, well, you and I have to have a talk. American M103 heavy tank. I recognized this as the A2 version immediately because of the 120mm gun. The A1 had a 105mm. Obviously that turret is very distinctive in terms of its shape. It's sloping back right there and how it lifts up at the back. This had a supercharged diesel engine in the A2 configuration at least. Big machine, very impressive in person. And again, not very many of these were made. 300 of these were made, and the AAF got their hands on one. Mostly used by the Marines. Used by the Marines last in Vietnam in 1973. I mean, what can I say? It's an M5A1 Stuart, which we know in World of Tanks is a Chinese tank, of course. But it was an American tank, 37mm gun. Well, those of you with a Tier 7 American Light know what that is. That turret, you just can't mistake it for anything. That is, of course, an M41 Walker Bulldog with a 3-inch gun. Very, very distinctive shape, and I've got a second picture of it right there. Which from that angle you may not necessarily recognize it as an M41. Now this one, the moment I saw it, I knew what it was. And if you've watched some of my YouTube videos, you've seen me play it on the test server. That's your M56 Scorpion right there. 90mm anti-tank gun, very light tank. I believe it only weighs 7 tons. Air transportable, very fast, very maneuverable. Zero armor, absolutely none. There's no armor here. This is just sheet metal steel casing basically. And if you've seen it in World of Tanks videos, here's a rear view. You can see. I mean, they modeled it perfectly in World of Tanks. Quack, quack. FT-17. The Renault FT-17, produced primarily in 1917. Thousands of them were made. French gave them to the British. They gave them to us. Colonel Patton, when he was a lieutenant colonel, commanded some of these guys. Not many of these left, and it's really kind of amazing that the AAF has one, because most of them were melted down by the Germans for their steel, and those that weren't were pressed into service in the defense of Paris. This particular one, I believe, was actually U.S. Army, even though it's now painted with French colors. No mistaking that rounded turret, that hemispherical turret. I mean, everyone knows what this is. It's a Soviet medium tank. This is a Type 54, excuse me, a T-54A. It's a cool looking machine in person, and it, like I said, it was pretty obvious what it was. That's a 20 kiloton warhead. It is what it looks like. It's a nuclear missile with a 20 kiloton warhead. No, it's not a tank, but hey, here you go. That is an M44. And when I first saw it, I thought it was an M41 HMC, as we know it in game. This is the M44, the Tier 6 American artillery, a machine which I had a very good team battle in. Hey guys, like the video, subscribe for more. Part 2 will be coming right up. See the rest. Thanks a lot.